Thank you for joining us for Small Talks for Big Change, where we help simplify financial topics to help with your financial wellness. Hi, everyone, and thanks for tuning into the show. It's one of our favorite months of the year here at Patelco and all credit unions as we celebrate Credit Union Youth Month, but it's also National Financial Literacy Month, so we have two great reasons for celebration here in April. April also marks the return of baseball and NBA playoffs, so I just love April. And we need a little bit of joy in our lives, right, folks? Things are really heavy right now, but we're going to lighten up the vibes and celebrate with you all because when we talk about empowering our youth through education, it's just the best of vibes. So today we've got a couple of great friends in the studio who are interning here at Patelco. Lei'ani Donaldson and Yesley Romo Quezada are high school seniors and part of the Genesys program. Genesys Works is dedicated to empowering youth through professional development and work experience. Their mission is to provide pathways to career success for high school students in underserved communities through skills training, meaningful work experiences, and impactful relationships. They're incredible folks, and we are lucky to have two of their interns with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, Lei'ani and Yesley, welcome to the studio, ladies, and congrats on your upcoming high school graduation. You guys excited? Any plans for college?
Yes, thank you for having us. I'm extremely excited to graduate, actually. I never thought I would be saying that because just a few years ago, I want to say like when I was like a sophomore maybe, I was so anxious. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to graduate. I'm getting older. Oh my God. And now that I'm actually here, I feel like those like extra 2 years I had before senior year was very, not only detrimental, but very like lesson learning for me. Yeah.
Love that. Yesley, how about you?
Well, thanks for having us here, first of all, and it's really great to be here. I'm really giddy about graduating, as like I've been waiting for this since freshman year. I've been counting down my days ever since, and now that it's so close, like I almost can't believe it. But yeah, it's almost here, and the only plans that I have this summer before going to college is I'm planning to continue the internship here at Patelco,
Awesome.
and I think I'm also gonna try to hang out with some friends before we go our separate ways. I have some friends going out of state, so saying the last goodbye. But yeah. I'm preparing to go to San Francisco State, which is still right here in the Bay, and I'm really excited.
Hey, go Gators. Well, enjoy it, you guys, and don't be too in a rush to get to working right away, right? Summer and I are over here just counting down to retirement, aren't we? All right, well, tell us a little bit about yourselves and your experience as interns. How's that going, Lei'ani? Why don't we start with you?
I'm a senior in high school, as I said, and surprisingly, I used to be very reluctant and shy about taking opportunities like Genesys Works. And then like one day I woke up and I was just like, you know what? I'm never going to get anywhere in life if I just take the easy route and take like the less risky route. And so when Genesys Works had came to my school, I really loved the vibe, and I loved how much they wanted to help the youth, and I was just like, that's the place I need to be in. And so I signed up and I did my interview. I was really nervous. I was sweating. And then I got the confirmation. It was about around this time in April last year that I was selected to be in their summer program.
Mm-hmm.
And during the whole summer program, I was always raising my hand. I was always answering questions or asking questions. And yeah, and after the whole summer program, I got my internship at Patelco, and I was really happy because it aligned with my wanting to be in the business realm. And I got my internship as in the virtual branch, and I feel like everything I do to help my boss and everything, how I help my team, I feel like it's like a family. It's very close-knit, very just like a learning experience for me. And I feel like this internship has changed my life in a lot of ways, not only financially, but like personally. And I love being able to help my boss like close accounts. I was so excited doing that. I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, I get to do like the big adult stuff.
Yeah. All right, Yesley, how about you?
Well, I'm currently a senior at Latitude High School in Oakland, and they're a high school known for pushing their kids towards internships. So the reason that I learned about Genesys Works was because of them. And they were like, by the way, you have to get an internship in your senior year, and most of them aren't paid. So once I heard that Genesys was paid, I ran to it.
Awesome.
And after like my summer training and after all the hard work, I got an internship here at Patelco, which was really exciting since it was part of the IT department, which I didn't know much about. But once I kept learning a little bit about it, I was like, oh, okay, it might be cool. But I was still very nervous even coming here. But after like knowing the team virtually and also in person, they're the best people. They're so nice.
So good to hear.
They're really welcoming. Not only did they teach me more about computer science and more about helping people in general with technology, but they also taught me more about time management and also communication, as you need to communicate more with like your team members, but as well as other people who are asking you for help, which was really great. So yeah, they really helped me.
I love to hear that you guys are having a good time. A lot of times when we're out in the community talking to young people, they forget that we have a whole back office. It's not just the branches and the folks at the branch locations, but we've got a whole headquarter office back here with IT and all those other things. And virtual branch is newer, and not everybody has something like that. So innovative and something you get to share with your friends. So you both have been here a short while, but would you say that in your time here, you've increased your financial well-being, your personal financial well-being?
Well, before my internship, I definitely didn't have the same knowledge as I do now. I had a checkings and a savings account, but I didn't really do much with them because I was like, there's no, like nothing for me to do with it. And I was like, oh, I'll handle it more when I get older. And now that I'm older, now I have to work on, now I actually have to work on my savings account. And after, what was it? Our class with Veronica Dangerfield, she actually taught me a lot about how savings accounts can really help you with saving for the future, especially with compound interest, which I didn't know about until she taught me about it. And I found it very important to learn how the money that I add on right now, it's helping me save even more money in the future, which I didn't know, but it really helped me. And after her class, not even the next weekend, I ran straight to my bank and I put a lot of my money that I had in my checkings account into my savings account.
Awesome.
Which I was, well, since I have it here, I might as well put it in my savings. And as of now, I've been keeping a good habit of just transferring money in and saving up.
That's so great to hear, and glad you got to sit through one of Veronica Dangerfield's classes, because those classes are super inspirational on top of being really educational. Lei'ani, how about you?
I would definitely say that in my time here, I've increased my financial well-being. Before I came to Patelco and started my internship, I was on the fence about opening up a savings account. My mom, she never had like a savings account. I mean, she has one open, but she doesn't have any money in there. So I was a little bit reluctant to do the same, and I was like, maybe I'll just keep everything in my checking account. But after I went to Veronica Dangerfield's class, I was like, oh, okay, now I see why we have a savings account. And so I started to save a lot of my money that I was getting from my internship. And I was proudly to say, I was able to save up over $1,000 for college.
Awesome.
And it came in really handy when I had to like pay for my prom stuff, because I didn't, just use all my college money without being like, oh, how am I going to pay for college? I had gotten a scholarship, a full tuition scholarship at Northeastern University. So I was like, now I can use this money that I saved up for prom instead of having to use it for college. And I feel like when you're going so fast throughout your youth years, I feel like you want to just spend. Like, you don't want to save. But I do think that saving is the most crucial part about being in your young years, because your young self is like, I don't need that money. But then your older self is like, I wish I would have saved that money.
The struggle's real.
Definitely. I see my grandparents always tell me to like save my money, and you never know like what miscellaneous things will pop up. Like maybe like you have to go to the doctors, you have to buy groceries, stuff like that. So I'm like trying to implement that, trying really hard. It's a little bit of a struggle, but I'm getting there.
Yeah, those pop-up things happen all the time, and it's really important to have a little nest egg emergency account. I love those two reflections from you both. I don't know if you guys are aware, but Patelco teaches classes out in the community, so those same classes that Veronica teaches to you. We do hundreds of those out in the community, and we do them for groups, teens and older. And we're always talking about financial health and getting people started to think about their own personal financial goals, and specifically in 3 categories. I'm not sure if Veronica touched on these. I have a feeling that she did. So we're talking short-term goals, which are financial targets in the next 12 months, midterm goals, which are the next 5 years, and then long-term goals, which are 10 years and beyond. As you guys are looking forward to this next phase in your life, have you thought about your financial goals and kind of these buckets, and what are some of those? Lei'ani, why don't we start with you?
Some of my financial goals for the next phase of my life, honestly, is to work responsibly with my scholarship money that I'm getting for college. I applied to an additional scholarship, Oakland Promise, and I actually got confirmation that I got their big scholarship. And I would think I was one of the 3 to get it. And I want to be able to save a chunk of that money away in my savings account just to give me like some peace of mind, just in case if anything happens, like a computer breaks or I have like a medical emergency or something like that. I need to fly somewhere to like for my family. Yep. I definitely want to work responsibly with like the rest of the money that they're giving me, with being able to, just buy necessities and then whatever I have left just to save it, because I don't want to get into the habit of constantly like, oh, I have some extra money. Let me spend that. Let me go buy myself a new pair of shoes. Like if I need it, I'll get it. But if I don't, just leave it there. And I think my time at Patelco definitely has inspired me to think and be more in depth about my financial goals. And a lot of my experiences have changed my goals here. Like a lot of the experiences that I've gone through throughout my life, as well as my time at Patelco, has definitely made me more conscious and more self-aware of how much money I am spending and how much money I'm saving.
Awesome. Yesley, how about you?
Well, some goals I've made recently were starting an emergency fund for myself, because like Lei'ani said, there's lots of times where you have money set aside, but then there's also some emergency money where last minute you need to like go fly out somewhere, or you're missing something that's very important, you need to buy it soon, which I started thinking about now. I'm like, no, I need to start saving up money for just extra security that I have in mind. And I think another goal recently that I've been trying to make, I'm in my phase right now where I'm starting to drive, and going to college in San Francisco, I'm going to be a commuter. And I don't want to take the train the whole time because I'm tired of the train. So
I hear it.
So now that I'm saving up for a car, I started also kind of following back to Veronica's class, where she puts into perspective of you need different accounts for yourself, because just having your money in one account, it's so easy to spend. And it's also at the same time really easy for you to be hesitant to spend it because you don't know how much you're actually saving or not. So yeah, I'm just putting in a new account for me to save up for a car, and a new account saving up for my emergency fund, which like hopefully, not the emergency one, but hopefully the car one that gets filled up soon.
You guys are so wise already. I'm so proud of you. So I'll tell you a little bit of my story. The reason why I'm so passionate about what I do and us teaching young people out in the community is because I made a ton of mistakes at your age, but your age all the way up to like 27. So I'm about 10 years behind you guys as far as coming up with just having that awareness and that acknowledgement, and then getting started and then actually doing the thing. So we are so proud of you guys. Congratulations. So having had this brief experience, what financial advice do you pass along to your friends now that you're so ahead of the game?
Well, something I always tell my friends right now is start saving now rather than later. Just because you have the money right now doesn't mean you have to spend it. It's super easy to spend money whenever you have it in your hand. You're like, I'll make it back later. Yeah. But a lot of the times you won't make the same amount later. Or a lot of times the money that you're saving for later, you're going to spend it now. Yep. So I've just been telling them, just start saving up money. It's also a nice surprise too, because sometimes you want to check your savings account and you're like, oh, I have a lot of money.
So true. And you're out there explaining compound interest to everyone?
No, I'm telling them, open up savings accounts now.
Love it. Lei'ani, how about you?
I definitely think if there's one piece of advice I would give anyone, and I mean anyone, I tell everybody, it's to learn how to delay gratification. Yeah. I learned this from one of my financial literacy classes I'm taking at my school. And it will save you in the long run. Learning how to see something you want, say it's like a new purse or new shoes, and you're like, I want that, but do I really need it right at this moment? And then you think about it for a few days and you're like, no, actually I don't. And so when you do eventually have some spare money, you're like, I'll treat myself, buy myself a new pair of shoes. And by delaying the gratification, you're able to take care of business first. And then once you finish taking care of business, you can gratify yourself with that purchase. And one last piece of advice I would give is not everything you see on TV you have to have.
Yes.
I see it a lot on social media, like influencers and people, buy this product, buy this skincare, buy this, buy that. And people are like, oh my God, she just recommended it. I need to go buy it right now. And I feel like a lot of people misread the title influencer. They're there to influence you to do something. You might not even need it.
So true. So true. Veronica and I just went to a financial education conference, and they were talking about that very subject. And they had said something like, we're exposed to 5 million advertisements per day. So let that sink in. So if we actually took advantage of, 1% of those, then we'd be spending a lot of money, wouldn't we? All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I haven't got the chance to work with you guys personally, but I just want to congratulate you. And from everyone here at Patelco, congrats on this last phase of your life. We're so excited that you're here. And thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
If you want to learn more about the Genesys Works program, you can check out their website at genesysworks.org. That's GENESYS works.org. If you're interested in boosting your own financial wellness, check out all of our resources on patelco.org or check our YouTube channel out by searching Patelco Credit Union in the YouTube search box. If you have any questions from today's show or just want to say hi, drop us a line at webinars@patelco.org. And that's going to conclude today's episode of Small Talks for Big Change, where we help simplify financial topics to help with your financial wellness. Happy Financial Literacy Month, everyone out there. We'll see you next time. Patelco Credit Union is insured by NCUA. Thanks for tuning in, guys. To hear more, subscribe or follow our next video. See you next time.